Obsession, perfectionism, self-destruction, and the trope of the tortured artist. Damien Chazelle's short film turned feature, titled Whiplash, has concreted itself into the critically acclaimed genre in exploring these themes that attach itself to musicians, filmmakers, and artists alike. Psychoanalytical theory, pioneered by scholars like Susan Hayward, offers a unique framework for interpreting this cinematic text by examining the unconscious desires, motivations, and symbolism present within them. Whiplash serves as an excellent case study for applying this theory through its complex characters and relationships and the themes of obsession, power dynamics, ego, and death drive. What is psychoanalysis in the context of critical film theory? Hayward describes cinema as a contemporary of Freudian psychoanalysis, and that film narratives, whether realist or surrealist, are projections of our imaginings and therefore are deeply linked to both our conscious and unconscious. There are several facets to approach his theory, but in regards to Whiplash, the topics of discussion will include desires and frustrations, in this case the death drive, the id or male ego, and the Oedipal complex. In his esteemed essay, Beyond the Pleasure Principle, Freud discusses the issue of the human compulsion to repeat unpleasant or traumatic experiences, which later became known as the death drive. In her academic novel, Zupančič claims what the compulsion to repeat is not some traumatic and hence repressed experience, but something that could never register as experience to begin with. The trauma that is being repeated is outside of the horizon of experience, and is rather constitutive of it. The id, also known as the unconscious, is the largest part of the mind that is beyond our consciousness and has a strong influence on our actions. It is the irrational, primitive part of the psyche that stores our fears, wishes, needs, and its objective is to seek pleasure and avoid pain. The ego, also known as the conscious, is the thinking part of our psyche that is connected with reason as it learns from experiences. The Oedipus complex is a Freudian concept that describes a child's sexual desire for the parent of the opposite sex and a sense of rivalry with the parent of the same sex. For the context of this film, we will primarily discuss the latter concept and the competitive and resentful nature of a father-son relationship. With the definitions and concepts clarified, it's time to apply these themes and theories to Whiplash.
You weren't a part. Alternates, you want to clean the blood off my drum set?
A repeated central theme throughout Whiplash is the question, what are you willing to sacrifice to be one of the greats? Protagonist Andrew Neiman, played by Miles Teller from the start of the film, is always striving to outperform himself and his peers. Once recruited by the notoriously harsh conductor Terrence Fletcher, played by J.K. Simmons, the everlasting cycle of abuse grows into a path of self-destruction. He begins to name-call his own self the same way Fletcher does, subjecting himself to constant criticism even when his biggest critic isn't around. This is depicted in the film through semiotics, where the motif of bloodshed symbolizes sacrifice and obsession, and it coating the skin of the drum kit, the kit itself symbolizing his inner turmoil and ambition, reflecting his relentless drive for success.
By the time you're done at Schaefer, you're gonna make Daddy look like a fucking success story. Got it? Or we can let Johnny Utah play the part. You choose.
That's my part. I'll be on your stage.
Fuck. You got 10 minutes, you fucking pathetic pansy-ass fruit fuck.
Neiman's mental state begins to fade away immediately after joining Fletcher's esteemed band, and his true desires are unveiled as he falls deeper into his inherent need to seek validation from Fletcher. He sacrifices a relationship with a woman he had genuine interest in for the fear that she will resent him due to his obsession with his craft. He grows arrogant and irritated by the small triumphs of his friends and family because they lack a similar understanding of the value of musicianship. He resents Fletcher but admires him at the same time because he believes that he sees something in him that others don't, no matter how many times he is physically, verbally, or emotionally abused. Eric Nair states, his ego has blinded him to the point of colossal narcissism. He cannot accept that anyone knows better than he does. He believes himself to be the only one in the room who cares enough to do the right and difficult thing for the sake of the future of the art.
Louder!
I'm upset! upset!
You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy when she figured out he wasn't Eugene O'Neill, and who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a fucking 9-year-old girl. So for the final father-fucking time, say it louder!
I'm upset!
Fletcher is undoubtedly the father figure that Neiman wishes he had. He can be read as the father that Neiman wants, and his real father being the one that he truly needs. He carries a familiar understanding that there is a value in self-sacrifice to be remembered as one of the greats, a sentiment his actual father seems to lack. As a boy who grew up without his mother, it's assumed that his father always doubled in the role of both parents, subsequently causing Neiman to dismiss his father as a role model altogether. This is cemented by Fletcher's verbal abuse, often making fun of Neiman's family structure and absent mother. Beginning as a strife to impress Fletcher, Neiman's psyche develops into a competitive relationship with him, reaching a climax of getting into an actual physical altercation with him and later causing him to lose his job. There's a complex power dynamic at play where Neiman's narcissism causes him to ultimately seek vengeance and not prove to himself, but prove to Fletcher that he really is one of the greats. Only then does Fletcher exhibit a certain level of respect for him. Whiplash serves as a captivating exploration of obsession, perfectionism, and the tortured artist trope, all of which are intricately intertwined with the complex dynamics of ambition and power within the realm of music education. Ultimately, Whiplash challenges viewers to confront the darker aspects of ambition and creativity, inviting us to delve into the depths of the human psyche through the lens of psychoanalytical theory. By unraveling the complexity of Neiman's journey through death drive, ego, and Oedipal complex, we gain insight into our own unconscious desires and motivations, and the profound influence they have on our lives and aspirations.